Some of Australia's biggest oil and gas and mining companies were rejoicing last year as sweeping reforms in Western Australia ushered in major changes to environment laws. WA's Environmental Protection Authority, or EPA, was stripped of its power to assess emissions, with companies to be regulated under what's known as the Federal Safeguard Mechanism. This week, a similar push in the NT has local environment groups worried.
Those changes in Western Australia came about after a review by Dr. Paul Vogel. Dr. Paul Vogel happens to be the Northern Territory EPA chair, and we suspect that we are copying a similar blueprint to Western Australia.
The NT EPA's new emissions policy claims to be about avoiding duplication with the safeguard mechanism, which mostly meets objectives for reducing emissions. And it's a move welcomed by the NT-based director of the Australian Energy Producers, who says climate policy is best addressed at a national level through the safeguard mechanism.
Western Australia and the Northern Territory have this history of competing with each other to attract large-scale fossil fuel projects. They're falling over each other to make it easier for gas companies to operate in their jurisdictions. And I think this is another example of that.
New data from the federal government shows NT emissions outstrip all other jurisdictions, rising 98% over the past 2 decades. Ms Howie from the Environment Centre NT says the policy changes will only exacerbate this problem.
It's effectively stripping the EPA of its powers to properly assess projects.
This expert agrees, warning there could be legal risks for the NT government too.
They're trying to streamline these processes for the oil and gas companies, and it could end up doing the reverse by opening up opportunities for legal proceedings.
In a statement, the NT EPA says despite the changes, it retains full authority to assess and make recommendations on the environmental acceptability of a project. Roxanne Fitzgerald, ABC News.